This is a story about my sus cousin. So once I went to my cousin's house and we're going to call her Angel. When I went, she was acting really suspicious. I asked her what was wrong and she just said nothing was wrong. I went along with it and I was like, okay, remember if you ever need me, I'm here. She went, I know. Her brother came in and said, she's been acting weird for a long time now. I said, Angel, are you okay? She says, I'm just going through a bit of a scary time. By the way, I just made this name up. This story is made up. So she says, I'm a bit nervous about the school play and I don't want to really do the school play because she was having a school play. The next day I went home and I saw my mum. She was like, she's just a bit, I don't know what's happening. So I asked her, is everything okay? Turns out her friend had been bribing her. So I said, you need to stop. And she's like, she's my best friend. I've got to go along with it. And I'm thinking, Angel, she's bribing you. Wait, actually the name is actually Katie. Anyway, so we're going to say her name's Katie. Right. So, and then Katie just shuts her bedroom door. And I go home and tell her mum. When I tell her mum says she's not allowed to play with his friend anymore. And I agree with her. She says, Angel, you got to stop this. Your cousin is worried. Part 2 of my sus cousin. Later that week, my cousin starts feeling better. She starts calming down and she gets better. Her brother says that she's been controlling her friend a bit more and stopped being friends with this girl. Life started to be normal until her friend went ballistic. Her friend was like, Katie, how could you do this? And then started shouting at her. And I say, leave her alone. And she just carries on screaming. I tell Angel that you need to stop being Katie. I tell Katie you need to stop being friends with her. And she just says, I already have. Her friend that's going to call Anna says, we are going to be friends forever. And I just find it really weird. So then Katie says, get out of my house. Obviously, Anna went ballistic again. And I said, does Anna ever be happy? She says, not really. She's always angry. And Anna has to give the money back. Anna gives her a quarter of the check, sort of. And Angel says she's grateful for actually giving her the money back. Her brother just says, get out. The mom just tells her to leave now. And she finally leaves. Later that day, I tell Angel, are you okay? Part 3? I think it's 3. Part 3 of my super sus cousin. So, she says, I never really knew she was like that. She's always been kind. We tell Anna's mum what's happened, and Anna gets grounded, and it turns out Anna was actually gonna try hurt Katie in some sort of way. That's when Katie said she told me about something like that. And then we all calm down because Anna goes to boarding school, and she goes there till she's in college. And everyone's happy. We haven't heard from Anna since because she's in boarding school. This is a story about when my brother cooked my dog and made us eat it for dinner. So I went to the shops because we had no food in to eat, and I got all the groceries for dinner. When I got in, I smelled a sort of disgusting burny smell, and normally my dog runs up to me when I get in from going out, and I was like, I was very confused, but I didn't think much about it. I was mainly thinking about the cooking smell. I asked my brother what he's cooking because we didn't have groceries. He said he found something, and I said, okay. When we start eating it, it tastes very raw, and there's hairs in it, like mini hairs. I asked him, do you know where... We're going to call the dog Ruby. I say, do you know where Ruby is? He says, no. When Mum and Dad got home, we told them we didn't know where the dog is, and they start making posters of the lost dog. My brother starts sweating because at this point I did not know he cooked our dog to eat. It was very strange that he didn't want to. He was just sweating and pretending to look for the dog. Part 2 of when my brother cooked my dog and fed us it for dinner. So my brother was pretending to look for our dog, and I said, can you actually look? I miss her. And he just started laughing. I said, oh my God. My dad went in the fridge and saw some meat that was the size of our dog and had the same hairs as our dog. He says, we're going to call him Leighton. He says, Leighton, where did you get this meat? He says, I don't know, really. I just found it in the fridge. My sister is very young. She said, I don't know where Doggy is, but I saw Doggy go in the oven. That's when everyone stopped and realised what our brother did with the dog. We asked, did you cook our dog? He just simply says, no. We all start screaming, and he says, I didn't cook the dog. And then our nanny, because we had like a babysitter while Mum and Dad went there. Our nanny was very uncareful. She barely even looked after us. We're going to call her Sarah. So Sarah says he cooked the dog, and then we all started like having a breakdown, and my brother got grounded. We sent him to boarding school, and everyone just went ballistic at him. We all wondered, why would he cook the dog? What did he have against Ruby? I started crying and started smashing his door, like banging on it, because I was very angry with what he did. I said to him, how could you do this? And I'm like, you are cursed. He just started crying and laughing. It was very weird. This is a story of my weird friend. So it was my first day of a new school. I was very excited to make new friends. Then there was this one girl who kept being very kind to me, and I asked her, would you like to be friends? She obviously said yeah, because she was trying to be my friend. I said, thank you so much for being my friend. But then she starts acting weird. I ask her, are you okay? She says, yes, I'm just a bit worried with studies. I ask her, is something bothering you? And she says, no, what makes you think that? I say, you have been acting very strange lately. She says, no, I haven't. Why are you being mean? I said, I'm just looking out for my best friend. She says, no, and thank you for being kind. And then she put her fingers up and down. I say, please can you tell me if everything's okay? It turns out the week before I started, she was going to be sent to boarding school if she didn't start making friends, because she was starting being chaotic. Her mum said she's got to go to boarding school if she doesn't calm down. Then she told me that, and I said, darling, I'm your best friend. You could just told me that. She said, it's a bit embarrassing. I said, you was my first friend. I'm always going to be with you. She was actually trying to kill me. At this point, I thought she was being a very kind friend, but I didn't think anything into it. She was being there for me for ages, and I just thought, she's just been a very kind friend. She tells me that she's very sorry for scaring me, and I said, sweetie, you need to stop worrying. I'm your best friend. At this point, I'd been at this new house school thing for about 2 months. I was really loving this teacher. He was very kind. Later that day, my friend isn't at school. The next day, my friend doesn't turn up at school. I forgot the title of this video. I think it's like my new house, my new friend. This part 2 of my friend. I asked the teacher why she isn't at school. He says, we haven't got an email yet. Ask the head teacher, because she gets the emails first. Then there's this boy, we're going to name him Jacob. So Jacob is all like, I heard she got sent to boarding school. And I say, but she made a new friend. He says, who? And I'm like, me. He says, you're probably not even a good friend. I say, Jacob, I've been at the school for 2 months now. He says, the worst 2 months of my life. I thought he was just trying to wind me up. So I asked the head teacher when I next see her, and she said she did go to boarding school. I said, but she made a friend. Turned out that she killed her old friend, and she had no choice but to go to boarding school. I went home crying before the end of the day. My mum asks, what's wrong? I say, before I get to say anything, I see my friend there. I can't remember if I give her name. She's called Louise, Katie. I'm going to call her Louise. So, I see Louise. I ask Mum what she's doing here. Turns out Louise didn't get sent to boarding school yet. She just had to move that school right now. And I said, Mum, thank you for letting her come. And then I asked her to explain why she killed one of her friends. She told me her friend was fake. This is the point where I felt really bad, and I didn't know what to do. I told my mum I didn't know what to do. She went to boarding school, and it was actually the best idea. She sent me pics of her life there, and she made a new friend. This place was perfect for her. I was very happy she could have a great time. She told me, I really miss you, but it's nearly the holidays, so I might be able to see you soon.